Okay, I just need to get y'all to see what I'm seeing so that y'all can make up your own minds. And also just to get this out. So this black line here represents the next halving date, April 20th, 420. Woo! All right, anyways. This was the previous cycle top, right? We came into some sort of resistance here at 73,000, and we're currently making a retrace today. Alrighty, so going back to the last cycle, it's kind of hard to gauge last cycle. Here's the previous cycle's halving, but COVID started happening right, it was like March of 2020 when it came out in the United States, but the end of the year, basically 2019, that's why it's called COVID-19. So it already started affecting other parts of the world. So this graph is right here is not going to represent, it's not a good representation of what Bitcoin typically does. To do that, we have to come back here. But I do want to show you something. It's been a good representation up until around where this fib retracement tool ends. So previous cycle high from 2018, and when it started making its way back up, it hit this 0.618 fib retracement before it started making its way back down. Okay, just keep that in mind. All right, coming back to the previous cycle high before that, the second halving. So the 2014 top came back and it almost hit exactly at the 0.618 retracement before it made its dump. So the reason I'm saying that it closely resembles this cycle is because the halving was July 9th, 2016. We started making a dump before that halving and after the halving. This represents a normal cycle right here, this parabolic move right here. That's what would happen if we didn't have this black swan event of COVID happening right in here, followed by China laws banning mining and causing this crazy chart move right there as well. So bearing that in mind, where the two previous cycles were and our first retracement was at the 0.618, if we look at this does not look like the 0.618, right? We actually eclipsed all-time highs. So that would not be the 0.618. That would be 100% move. That would be 100% move. Well, because of COVID, keep this just, this is a theory. Let me say, because of the stock to flow model that PlanB made, it hypothesized the last cycle should have gotten a little bit above 100,000. We only got halfway there, the 63,000 area, 65,000. Theoretically, we should have gone to a little over 100,000, which would have been $120,000. So if you just erase everything that happened last cycle top, forgetting about COVID ever happening in the mining situation in China, and you say that we got to 120,000, this 73,000 where we just topped out is actually at the 0.618. It would have been at the 0.618 had that played out correctly. Very interesting, because that means that this cycle is in fact not a left translated super cycle. We are playing the exact same cycle as before. We're just playing catch up because COVID hampered the last cycle move. So assuming that we are at 0.618 now, you can see what it did in the past. We're going to go to this 2014 cycle here. It hit. This is actually a 40% retracement. This right here was 40% deep. From here to the first drop was 30%. We went sideways, and then we dropped another 10%. And then we slowly made our way for the next year and a half to end 2018 at a cycle high. We are theoretically on track for a 2025 cycle high. This looks like we are in a heated cycle, but we're not if you exclude what happened last year, or not last year, last cycle. So we should in fact be on our way to a $500,000 Bitcoin top at the end of 2025. Just putting that theory out there. This drop right here is going to be deeper than we think. Okay, it's probably, I mean, based off of previous performance, scary as fuck. But a 40% retrace from here, which I honestly don't think could happen, but it puts us right in support right through here. Honestly, it's $43,000. It's happened before. I mean, with the ETFs, it's hard to say that it could happen again, but if the ETFs could cause all that buying pressure, I mean, when they all go to sell, I guess it's possible. It's all retail either way, you know? It is possible we could go to 43,000. That would be fucking insane. That would put a lot of altcoins in perfect buy zones. And just keep that on the back of your mind. Currently, we are, so far, have seen a 16% drop. Remember, this line is the halving. That's fucking crazy. We could come as far as this level right here before we start making our way back up, like over here. So if I can ever get this thing to work, before we start going sideways and making our way back up. Fucking crazy. This would be December of this year. We would get around to 120, maybe, I'm guessing, and then maybe 150, and then we continue for the rest of the next year, 2025, peaking out at the end, maybe October 2025. Oh my God.